Welcome back to the Red Wings Report with Strings and Pucks. This is Jeremy Laura. So it's a very big day for the Red Wings. First, this happened after I recorded the show yesterday. Most of you know Justin Hall, Eric Gustafsson were both put on waivers yesterday. Both have cleared at this point. At this point, it hasn't been announced yet if they're going to be assigned to the AHL or what's going to happen. But just heads up, they've cleared. Now, the Red Wings did just release interviews with Dylan Larkin, Axel Sandin-Pellikka, and Coach Todd McClellan. They haven't released the final roster at this second. I have my phone waiting for alerts. But from what was being said, and I'm just going to quote the coach as best I can, all three players, that's Emmitt Finnie, Michael Brandsegg-Nygard, and Axel Sandin-Pellikka, were on the ice participating. And from his mouth, he said, we practiced with a 23-man roster. That's what the league allows. And all three of those players are on the ice. So again, nothing's been released yet officially. But based on what he said, based on how Dylan Larkin was talking, it honestly looks like all three players have grabbed spots to start the season in Detroit for the Detroit Red Wings. So Emmitt Finnie, Michael Brandsegg-Nygard, Axel Sandin-Pellikka, all these guys are going to be sporting red with the winged wheel. And that is incredibly exciting. Fans, you should be absolutely excited. More than that, this shows that the team is serious, that there is competition for jobs. It stinks that veterans get waived, but Hall and Gustafsson now, they've made it through waivers. They're going to decide what's going on. And even Coach McClellan said this, those are friends, those are teammates. And it stinks that they're, not on the ice practicing. And keep in mind, if they do get assigned to the AHL, I'd done a video before about this, paper transactions are gone. If you get assigned to the AHL, you have to play in a game before you're allowed to come back to the NHL. So no more of those cap recapture move-arounds. Teams, once you send a player down, they can't come back until they've played one game. So the impact of putting someone on waivers, the impact of if they do get assigned to the AHL is so much different this season. So congratulations first to Finnie, Brandsegg-Nygard, Sandin-Pellikka. The fact that we're even talking about them at this point, hours before the rosters are actually due, it speaks a lot to the effort they've put in. I apologize. I am getting alerts. I'm just waiting to see if there's any official announcements at this point. But guys, there's been a lot of back and forth, and a couple of you in the comments who are excited about this, some who really think, it's a bit early to be putting some of these guys on the roster. I mean, Brandsegg-Nygard, I'm very surprised. I didn't have any of these three penciled as making it. When I did my preseason predictions, it was Danielson. It was Lombardi next, and then Brandsegg-Nygard I thought would be high on the call-up list. He blew past everyone's expectations. He's going to be, in the second year after being drafted, he's going to be playing in the NHL, it looks like. And you think of that, that's Raymond. Lucas Raymond was able to do that. This is such a major, major step forward, and especially for Finnie, because Emmitt Finnie now, as a seventh round pick, has jumped over Nate Danielson. Now, that's probably a good chunk to do with Danielson's injury, but regardless, you have a seventh rounder and you've got two first rounders who've now broken through, and these two first rounders have not played a full season in North America at this point. They played part of the year in Grand Rapids last year. So this is incredibly exciting. We don't know where everyone's going to fit in. We don't know what's going to happen when Van Riemsdyk is healthy and going again. But for now, it looks like Sandin-Pellikka, Brandsegg-Nygard, and Finnie are all Detroit Red Wings to start the year. And Hall and Gustafsson, they have some decisions to make. In my mind, and if you look at the Puckpedia roster or the Cap Wages roster, They're still showing Carter Mazur on the roster and Sandin-Pellikka assigned to Grand Rapids. Mazur's already been assigned to Grand Rapids, but he's injured. So there's still some mistakes online with that. But these guys, they broke out. They have earned this look, in my opinion. And it was enough for the team to put 2 veteran D on waivers to make this happen. So let me know what you think in the comments. Are you excited? Are you surprised? Did any of you have these 3 guys, all 3 making the roster? And when did you think that was going to happen? Or, like me, even when I did the last video, it was still an if, but it felt like Brandsegg-Nygard had broken through. Finnie was kind of a maybe, and Sandin-Pellikka, it felt like he should be here, but they wouldn't just because of the numbers game. You know what? Good on them. Good on them that they let the better player grab the spot at this point, at least the better player in the preseason. I don't think anyone's going to fight that you would rather have Sandin-Pellikka over Hall at this point in time. Feel bad for Gustafsson. He definitely has a skill set that you want to see, but again, it's just Sandin-Pellikka's ceiling is so high, and he's already playing well enough where NHL time's going to benefit him. Now, he's still not certain. You could still see the stress in his eyes, but it looks like all 3 are there. Please comment. Please like. Please subscribe. Hockey Hot Stove is back up, so I'll have some new articles coming up later today. Thank you for everyone who's tuned in and subscribed. The goal is to get to 1,000 early in the season, and I appreciate everyone coming by. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.